Good evening, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Critique Corner with me, Daniel Parker.
And me, DB Fastbinder.
And if you are returning, welcome back. If you're new, what we do is we critique stuff from our corners. This week we have two movies that are one is definitively a classic, and the other one is in the words of the character, one of the characters from that classic movie is infamous.
Yep. It we only have two things to talk about this week, and it's always kind of first off, before I do that, I accidentally grabbed a picture from the wrong Spider-Man movie. So
Oh no.
while I get one that doesn't have Dr. Octopus reflecting in Spider-Man's goggles, we decided to kind of revisit a famous movie and an infamous movie.
Yes.
Because it had been many years since we had seen either one of them. And it's like sometimes you go back and you notice things. Like if you'd asked me before, I would have told you that Cops and Robertsons was a perfectly fine family comedy. And on a rewatch as an adult, I was like, okay, there are funny bits, but what the hell is this movie?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to get us started tonight, we're gonna go with our famous one that's actually good, and of course that is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man.
The adjectiveless Spider-Man. And
Yes.
the Spider-Man movies where they weren't obsessed with him in his home for whatever
Right.
reason.
Yeah. um, I will say the road to actually getting a live action Spider-Man movie made is pretty interesting as well. For those of you who probably don't know this, back in the there were actually like two live action Spider-Man TV shows. One that was on here in the US. I think it only lasted a year, and I've seen clips from it, and it is like a train wreck to watch because they had a lot of limitations with what they could do, and
Yeah.
yeah. And then there was also, of course, the Japanese version, Spider-Man.
So Spider-Man, the emissary from hell.
Yes, who had his own mecha, robot. But then in the 80s, actually, Canon Films tried to make a Spider-Man movie, and they even did a little like promotional teaser for it. And originally they were going to have Toby Hooper direct it. And for those who don't know, Toby Hooper, he did Texas Chainsaw Massacre, as well as like a whole host of other movies. He did a bunch of movies for Canon. The problem there was that he had absolutely zero understanding of the character. Like
no.
Yeah, he was going to give him like actually make him into a spider, having like 8 legs and.
Yeah. By the way, Stan Lee basically spent his life from like the 70s onwards in the attempt to get his characters made into movies.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and then then also in the 80s, and then I think then in the 90s, James Cameron tried to do a Spider-Man movie.
I've seen like bits and pieces of the script. It would have been a weird, incoherent mess because like Dr. Octopus was the villain, and he would have what was it? He would have been like he would have thought he was Spider-Man or something like that.
Yeah, and it would have been R-rated too. So it would have had like a bunch of real heavy violence and language and stuff. And although I think like there was actually one holdover from that movie into this movie, which was that the his Spider-Man's webbing just comes out of him naturally instead of him having to build a web shooters.
Yeah. I think of all those movies. Like, first off, how weird would it have been if Canon Films made it work and we would have had Superman and Spider-Man made by the same production house briefly?
Ooh. That would have been wild.
Oh gosh, now imagining like what if it had actually like okay, so imagine that Superman 4 had come out and been what it was, but like still some cultural cachet. And then imagine that their Spider-Man movie had come out and had any sort of success. Would they have been able to resist the crossover?
Oh, probably not. Knowing
Lined up the
knowing Golan and Globus, yeah, probably not.
Yeah, 'cause they could have lined up the rights properly. We could have had a Spider-Man and Superman movie in theaters before we had an Avengers or a Justice League movie.
Yeah.
Which that man, I almost want to see what that would have been like.
Oh yeah, yeah. But to get to this movie,
Yes, the good one that was actually made.
yes. So Spider-Man, from director Sam Raimi, of course, did all the Evil Dead movies, as well as a slew of other ones. He actually did before this movie, he actually made a quasi superhero movie in Darkman, which was with Liam Neeson, before anyone really knew who Liam Neeson was. But this movie is basically just it's the origin story of Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He's a nerdy teenager who gets bitten by in the comic books it was a radioactive spider, but in this it's just a genetically modified spider.
Which is somewhat more scientifically plausible, I suppose.
I suppose, yeah. Well, you have to remember in the 1960s, radioactive, radiation,
Right. All they knew it was good for was bombs and killing Marie Curie.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
quick sidebar. Have you ever heard of Operation Plowshare?
I haven't.
So this was somebody's bright idea to figure out civilian uses for nuclear power and bombs and stuff. So they had the idea of nuking fields to increase the soil fertility.
Oh God.
Which and also as just instead of having to spend years drilling through hard rock, you just nuke the mountain and you can use it to build a tunnel.
Oh no! Oh.
Thankfully, this did not happen. But
yeah. Oh, jeez. Oh, and hey, D Rhino, good to see you, man.
Hey, man.
Yeah. God, no, jeez, that would have been catastrophic. Yeah. But yeah, so this movie we're introduced to Peter Parker, Spider-Man, and we find out all about his troubled teen life, or not troubled, but his teenage life where he's not perfect. He's raised by his aunt and uncle, Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Uncle Ben was played by Cliff Robertson, who was in the 3 Days of the Condor, which we watched a few months back.
Who was he in that one?
He was the guy that Redford was talking to, that was kind of acting like his friend, but he really wasn't. And then you have Rosemary Harris playing Aunt May, who I actually found out, I believe she's still alive. Yes, she is still alive.
Wow.
Yeah, she's
which considering that she looked rather elderly in this movie.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think she was in her 70s in this movie, and then yeah, I mean she's 99 years old.
Good for her.
Yeah. But yeah, so then we also have of course Kirsten Dunst playing Mary Jane Watson. So far the only true live action Mary Jane Watson we've had.
Yeah, and unfortunately they kind of adapt. Okay, this movie, she is a perfectly fine character. Later on, they kind of adapted the not quite so flattering characterization from the comics of the period.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Where she's basically she's been insufferable. Yeah. Especially in the third one.
Yeah, unfortunately, what I think was going on partially is that, how to put this, the Spider-Man and Mary Jane marriage was kind of a publicity stunt, and it was also kind of like the dog that caught the car.
uh,
So it's like, okay, well, what do we do with them? We didn't really have a plan. Like they were kind of lucky that they had Craven's Last Hunt, the great comic book story, to add some emotional weight to them being newlyweds.
uh, yeah. Oof. Um, but
Sorry,
yeah,
I keep going off tangents, but
no, that's okay. Yeah, I know you're a big Spider-Man fan, and I kind of am too. Although I would say you're a bigger fan than me, but yeah, so it's easy to do. But yeah, so then we also have Peter's best friend Harry Osborn, who's played by James Franco, and then of course Norman, his father, played by Willem Dafoe, in his most Willem Dafoe role, I think.
yeah. Also, like this was the probably the peak of James Franco's career, for being honest.
Yeah, yeah. I would say either this or Pineapple Express.
Yeah, and I suppose to a much lesser extent, the Disaster Artist.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, D-Ron, I missed the part where that's my problem. Yeah, that's yeah, so that's later, of course, the famous words of Peter Parker, just before Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I think that uh, let's see. So do we want to go blow by blow in the plot, or do we, or is the movie old enough now that we can maybe go like, hey, if you haven't watched this for some reason, I'm sorry, Andrew Garfield and what's his name do not hold a candle to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, Tom Holland. Yeah,
Tom Holland. Thank you.
yeah. I think we could probably assume that people in our audience have seen this movie more than once, and and
Yeah.
maybe even old enough to or like you and me were old enough that we actually saw it in the theater to see it in the theater when it came out.
Which, boy, that was a fun time.
It was, yeah.
Okay. Because like, okay, so we'd had X-Men and Blade,
Yeah.
but the thing with X-Men was that as they memed on in Deadpool and Wolverine, like it was embarrassed to be a comic book movie. Like they said, oh, people won't take it seriously if they're in yellow spandex, so we gotta uh, we'll not only put them in black leather, but we'll force the comic books to also put them in black leather for several years
Yeah.
to match the movies.
Uh,
So, but like here we and like Blade, okay, like nobody really cares about Blade the comic. Like that's one of those movies that was almost surely made because Marvel had to sell a lot of movie rights in the in their bankruptcy, and I think it was Fox who had that one.
New Line.
New Line, okay. I'm sure New Line got the rights to Blade on the cheap.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
Like this is not Spider-Man.
Right, yeah.
No, this is Spider-Man. It's like this was like the first non-Batman movie where you really got to see a comic accurate portrayal of the character.
Right. Yeah. Complete with the comic accurate suit and his the characterization and the whole shebang. And yeah.
Right, just exceptionally faithful to the character and everything he's about.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember those ads too, D Rhino. Yeah. Um but yeah,
Dr. Pepper has always been in on movie advertisements for whatever reason. Like
yeah.
they're always doing superheroes and Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Well, you got to make money somehow, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah, and they have the collectible cans too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Remember the Pepsi cans for the Phantom Menace?
Oh yeah, yeah, I do.
I several years later, I was at a church event or no, a church group, I guess I would say, and they had those. And for some reason, I said, oh, I'll give this a go. Pepsi does apparently denature after a couple of years, so I could finish it, but it wasn't great.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, Dr. Pepper even shows up in this movie because there's a scene where Peter's practicing his web shooting and he's doing it on a can of Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah, just like how they randomly had a Dr. Pepper truck blow up in the Avengers movie.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I remember when this movie came out, and it was a huge hit. I mean, I think it was the first movie to do $100 million in its opening weekend,
That sounds
domestically.
right.
Yeah, and on top of all that, like you have to kind of remember too, this movie came out like 2 or 3 weeks before Attack of the Clones, and it beat Attack of the Clones for the overall box office that year. I think it was the first time a Star Wars movie was not the number one movie the year it was released.
Which part of that is the Phantom Menace.
Blowback.
Yeah, like it itself was successful, but there was legitimate criticisms one could make of the movie, shall we say?
Right. Yeah. But yeah, this movie, I think is definitely a very pure superhero movie. It's weird. It's a pure superhero movie, but it's also a Sam Raimi movie.
Yeah, like you've got like women screaming. I think the funniest thing in the whole thing is when you have the effects for Green Goblin's pumpkin bombs that just skeletonize a group of men.
Yeah.
It's like I could just imagine the conversation, how they decided to handle it that way. It's like, well, I mean, you kind of got we can't like have it be too bloody, right?
Yeah, because it's PG-13. Yeah,
but we want to we're still vaporizing some dudes. So what do we do about that? We'll just have them look at like a bunch of Flash vaporized their flesh and turned them into PS2 skeletons.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say, if there's one thing that one negative is that the some of the CGI is a little dated in places.
Yeah, like some of the web swinging scenes don't necessarily look the best, although like they're definitely serviceable.
Yeah.
And I was struck by it is kind of refreshing to see movies actually use like sound stages for scenes. Like instead of it being just a CGI volume screen or whatever. Like it really struck me just how small and intimate in the scene where it's Green Goblin versus Peter at the end, just like how small of a set that really was.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Or the scene where Green Goblin's trying to lure Spider-Man to the dark side on the rooftop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I still think this movie is, it still holds up really well, even after 20 plus years. Although I think Spider-Man 2 is better.
That's the general consensus. That's how I always felt too. So D Rhino, I also ended up with an original DVD of Spider-Man because I went over to my half price books because when we picked our two movie topics, I said, well, I could pay for a week of Disney Plus, but that would just be rewarding them. So instead, I'll just go buy a couple of used DVDs and Blu-rays, and I can sell them back if I feel like it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Also, we do of all the actors we were bringing up earlier. How did we leave out Willem Dafoe?
Oh, I don't know.
I probably just put us on a tangent as we were going down the IMDb page.
Right. Yeah. Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin. Yeah, he turns in a very scary, paranoid performance. It kind of reminds me of Andy Serkis playing Gollum in Lord of the Rings. Yeah, kind of a similar setup where he's like talking to two halves of himself.
Yeah, that's a good analogy there. And also, like, he he is okay. So not don't take this as me being insulting or bullying or whatever. Dude looks weird and has always looked weird, as I can now attest because I've seen that Greaser movie he was in,
Oh yeah, yeah. Streets of Fire. Yeah,
Streets of Fire. Yeah, um, he is like perfect for this type of strangeness.
yeah,
Because like he already kind of looks like a goblin, honestly, like with his
yeah,
sharp features.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, he had the he had the formula. Yeah, that wicked grin he does, and the yeah.
Yep. And we both noticed something that once you see it, you can't unsee it. And
Yeah.
we're both not sure how we had never noticed it before. Maybe it's just like TV resolutions have gotten better.
Yeah.
Because I was playing off an original DVD, but on a 4K TV, so it wasn't like I was streaming or anything.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of scenes where you can actually see Willem's mouth through his mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like it looks strange, and once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because what I had thought was just like a solid piece of black, like plastic or metal or whatever, at the back of his mask throat was a
Yeah.
mesh. Which, as soon as I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that makes much more sense." Or else, how the heck would Willem breathe?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It'd be a little difficult for him. Yeah.
But I don't know, like, why I never noticed in the theaters, or
I think I was too busy looking at his eyes.
that's probably it.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Misery. 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 But yeah.
That is kind of the benefit of doing this type of rewatch, is just the ability to notice nonsense like that you wouldn't when you're like not absorbed in the story from a critical perspective.
Right.
Um, I think the other thing I'll say is that I've heard people say like, "Oh, Kirsten Dunst is mid. She doesn't really look like MJ, et cetera, et cetera." It's like, okay, I mean, I don't know who you're fighting off with a stick to in your dating pool, but
Yeah. 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 It doesn't look like her. You know.
again, there are also people who say that Sydney Sweeney is mid. So there's
Mm,
people who are just insane.
yeah. Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Like one thing that came up more kind of recently is that I couldn't help but think about was Kirsten apparently complaining about not being paid as much for this movie as Toby was. It's like, look, you did an excellent job, but why would you be paid as much as the main character who's having to do all these constant action shots with a back that he broke doing Seabiscuit?
Oh yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Dean Reiner mentioned something. Did we notice the trampoline in the final fight? I didn't see it, but I've heard about that. The trampoline is visible. Yeah, where he's like jumping up and down on it.
Oh, okay, that does make some sense. I did not notice that.
Yeah. But but no, yeah. I mean, yeah, this is still a great movie. Still in the upper echelon of superhero movies. It's kind of the gold standard of them, you know.
Yeah, like between this and Batman Begins, it kind of set the template for how Hollywood saw superhero movies for a while.
Yeah, yeah. Then we had then we got Batman Begins with Christopher Nolan wanting to go realistic, dark and gritty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have a response to that besides yeah. Um Yeah, this thing is definitely worth a watch. And
Yeah.
okay, so my hot takes on the different Spider-Men we've had.
Yes.
So like I said, Tobey Maguire is the gold standard. The only thing it doesn't quite get is he isn't quite funny enough to, like, when he's quipping, or it
Yeah.
isn't quite quippy enough when he's fighting. Because like one of the things about Spider-Man is that his enemies all hate him,
Yeah.
like even more than many other superheroes. Like, I don't know, I'll just give an example. Bullseye and Daredevil.
Yeah.
Bullseye hates Daredevil because Daredevil keeps besting him and like ruining his jobs and everything. But Doc Ock hates Spider-Man because not only did he beat him up and thwart his plans, he made fun of his weight for like a half hour during their like during all their encounters,
Yeah.
while using his spider sense to just weave around all of his attacks like Ultra Instinct Goku. So it's like that. He's like the most infuriating superhero to fight.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Andrew Garfield, he was saddled with a fundamentally flawed series.
Hmm.
But I kind of always felt the way that he portrayed Peter is kind of how an impartial outside observer would view Peter. By
Yeah.
which I mean, Peter can be a bit of a smart aleck. He can be, he can be a bit prickly at times
Yeah.
because he's walking around worried about superhero stuff, and then like he'll snap at somebody.
Yeah.
Um, he's always clearly lying and being evasive about where he's been during like always he's always late to everything. Like in that movie, I understand why Captain Stacy wouldn't necessarily be the most enthusiastic about him dating this guy,
Yeah.
about his
Yeah.
daughter dating his guy.
Yeah.
Um, but like the problems of that movie are not Andrew Garfield. The problems of that movie are the script. But like his portrayal of it was perfectly fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, do I think that they should make an Amazing Spider-Man 3? No, that moment, like that was a flash in the pan moment
Yeah.
where everybody liked
Yeah.
him after the crossover movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then our Tom Holland era.
Yeah.
Well, first off, I'm not a Zendaya fan, so just because she tends to play the same thing in every movie.
She has the same expression in every movie. That's like,
Yeah. And so, and what's funny is that I've never actually gotten around to seeing the first one. I just missed it for whatever reason. So in the second one, where he's like has a crush on her, I had thought that was set up in the first movie more, but apparently not.
no, it wasn't. No, no, he was interested in a different girl who. Oh, okay, I'll spoil it. She turned out to be the daughter of Vulture.
Which that is a very Spider-Man plot. Like he's hobbled by the fact that they didn't want to do Uncle Ben for a third time for whatever reason, and that like Tony Stark is his Uncle Ben, which like it's better for the MCU that it's like that, but it's worse for him individually as a character.
Yeah.
Like even though he's pushing 30, he still seems like a kid. Although apparently like he levels up a lot in the new movie that I haven't gotten around to watching yet.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either. I've heard good.
To.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, I mean, I've heard good things about it, but although I've heard that they really kind of messed up Jean Grey.
And then they don't understand that they made Jean Grey a villain. Like that's
yeah.
That is the consensus that I've kind of heard about it.
Yeah. Although I guess Punisher was good in that movie.
But yeah, so if I have to like pick and choose my elements of Spider-Man, like Tobey like does the best job of he is actually, so my old line I used to give people was Tobey Maguire is how Aunt May would describe Peter.
Yeah.
And Andrew Garfield is how Captain Stacy would describe Peter.
Yeah. Yeah, that's accurate. Yeah.
Like I just love the fact that the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is so innocent that like some people took issue in the Spider-Man 3 with like the dancing Peter scene and like that's his idea of being bad. No, he's an innocent nerd. Like that's
Yeah, that's just how he is.
what do you expect?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Enough tangents.
Yes.
If you for some reason have not watched this movie, you owe it to yourself to go watch this movie.
Yes.
Now, Daniel, this is a movie that we have not we should have kept a rolling count of how many times we brought up The Last Jedi in our various reviews and discussions.
Yes.
It is a not insignificant number.
No, it's not. We've mentioned it several times. Yes, and with good reason. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the movie that it broke the internet in a fundamental way. There is an
Yeah.
argument to be made that without this movie, we wouldn't have Geeks and Gamers. Critical Drinker wouldn't be what he is. We wouldn't have Mahler and EFAP.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have Nerdrotic.
Heels versus Babyface. Yeah.
Because like previous movies had like like Ghostbusters is a significant franchise. It is absolutely not Star Wars. Like
No.
it maybe at one point it was in the discussion for being like the biggest franchise, but like that it did not have the staying power that Star Wars did.
No, it didn't. No.
I've heard people say that the reason that people got so angry is that for a lot of people, Star Wars is their mythos, almost their religion, if they don't actually have a religion. Because like Star Wars was like designed to be mythic, to inculcate an interest in the supernatural and the non-material in the children,
Right.
and society at large, and to just be like a take on Joseph Campbell's Hero with a Thousand Faces.
Yeah.
And making an actual, and also I can see why George wanted to start with prequels when he wanted to make more movies.
Yeah.
Because following up Star Wars is like the original Star Wars trilogy is a hard act if you're actually moving forward in time.
Right. Yeah. Well, if George was smart, he would have just had like Timothy Zahn, write some scripts adapting his Thrawn trilogy.
Yeah, I also kind of thought that if you wanted to just do like a one-shot movie, the comic books with the clone Emperor Palpatine would have worked well enough as a single movie.
Yeah.
Like there wasn't enough there for a whole trilogy, but it would have worked well enough for a singular, maybe two movies if you wanted to adapt.
Yeah.
Dark Empire, that's it.
Yeah, Dark Empire. Yeah.
But
yeah, he decided to do the prequels to basically tell Anakin Skywalker's story.
Right, and just give the context for what Luke's accomplished, or what Luke accomplished in the originals.
Right.
And I also understand like why why Disney seemed like a good steward at the time, because like honestly, 90s Disney would have probably done better by Star Wars than Bob Iger Disney did.
Yeah.
The wild thing to me is that you spend $4 billion for a company like that. And you start making movies right away to pay off that investment. And this is just insane to me. It's like, how do you not start with an actual outline for what your trilogy is about.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, because J.J. Abrams admitted that when they did Rise of Skywalker, that they did not have a plan for this trilogy. It's like, like, basically, J.J. Abrams did his movie, and then Rian Johnson's like, all right, well, screw you. I'm just gonna just do something completely different. And then Colin Trevorrow, who was the original director on Episode 9, was like, wait a second. You killed off Luke Skywalker.
I needed him.
I need him. He's in my movie. What the
Screw
hell?
this. I'm going to go make more Jurassic World movies.
Yeah.
Which, say what you will about the Jurassic World movies, more Jurassic World movies have come out since 2019 than Star Wars movies, and to much better success.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh. But I guess we should talk about the plot of this movie.
Yeah. So on the previous one, we were feeling glad and happy and charitable towards the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, if you want to go over every last little problem in this movie, Mahler must have like 15 hours of movie breakdown for it.
Yeah.
There are so many essays talking about the problems with this movie. We're kind of here for our own enjoyment and catharsis.
Yes.
And also because there was always the possibility that on a rewatch, I could go, while it has issues X, Y, and Z in the larger context of Star Wars, it has positive qualities A, B, C. There are a couple of positive things we'll mention. At least I'll have to mention, but
Yeah.
no, you can kind of feel that the movie like just completely stumbles in the first act, and it is sad how it stumbles because it's one of those situations where you go, how did nobody look around and go, why are we starting a Star Wars movie in the middle of a serious situation with a yo mama joke?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and basically making Poe look like an idiot,
Making Hux look like an idiot.
Hux. Hux. Yeah, and then just it's just.
Honestly, I think that the worst thing that happened to this movie was them being chained by the fact that they were kind of chained by, first off, the lack of preparation by Abrams and crew for like what the movie was actually going to be about. But they were also hurt by the fact that they were also just hurt by the fact that the way the movie ended was Rey facing off with Luke Skywalker, which meant that you couldn't really skip over a lot of time because you would need to address that somehow. Now,
right.
And the thing is, like, if you're doing the Star Wars formula, you're kind of a little bit shackled by the fact that the typical Star Wars pan down is like you start from space and you move down and see ships doing something.
Right.
So you'd have to start mid-fight somehow, or at least like you need some sort of opening action scene. So I get the conundrum they would have with actually like, because you can't like do the Star Wars crawl then pan down to Luke and Rey and keep the formula. Now that would of course been significantly better if they had done that, because then you could have had a time skip after that. But the other way that this movie is stuck with time is that they have set up a very odd scenario for the rebels as they're trying to escape. Excuse me, the resistance,
Mm.
who they start calling rebels about halfway through and then switch back to the resistance at the very end.
Yeah. Yeah, they can't decide what to call themselves.
Where the bad guys can't decide what to call them.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, so the opening scene was just like, yeah, it was, kind of a bit ridiculous, especially when they have the whole bombing sequence, and
Yeah,
it
it's
just,
like, because again, like, it has to start exactly where the last movie left off, right?
yeah,
So the First Order, of course, comes looking to wreck shop after the rebels just took out their Starkiller base.
yeah. Which in the original trilogy they just kind of skipped over that, and they're like, oh, well, now we're on Hoth.
Right. Because you could do a time skip, you could, like, you had time to skip over them evacuating Yavin 4.
Yeah,
And I think there was like a year's worth of time between, so you could have like events they were referring to about, like, oh, like Ord Mantell or whatever, like where Han helped out the rebels.
yeah,
Like, sidebar, time skips are an important element in your story unless you're like really just going moment to moment and there's like a compelling reason for it.
yeah,
Because it gives you time to, like, okay, as an author, there's a tendency to want to show every single thing that happens, but you need that time. Like, you can't show every moment of, say, two characters getting to know each other. You got to skip, like, you got to skip some time.
right, yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that's part of why, like, I think we could never get a sequel trilogy video game of any quality, is because when the heck would you ever try to set it? You have episodes 7 and 8 that just run back to back,
yeah,
and then you have a gap between 8 and 9 where it's like, well, what the hell are you going to show off there? The rebels are basically it's a small enough army to, spoiler alert, fit inside of the Millennium Falcon.
yeah. Like, ugh. Oh.
So anyways, so the rebels are escaping, and then the the First Order can track the rebels with their advanced hyper technology, and so the rebels can't jump away from into hyperspace, and so they end up in a slow speed chase across empty space.
Yeah. And where are they going? Well, to quote Critical Drinker, don't know.
Right, because you have a how to put this. I think, like I said, I think they could have benefited from some more time
Yeah,
to let things play out. My proposal for how you would do this would be, rather than them just hyperspacing to a bunch of empty space, have them have them hyperspace a second time into a nebula, and then they're like, and then you could have, like, oh yeah, the nebulas mess with sensors, and we rebels know the safe paths through the nebula
yeah,
because this is like an old outpost. So you could have them, like, sneaking around through the nebula as the First Order is trying to sweep for them,
yeah.
and they're just barely keeping one step ahead. And it would have kind of looked like the end of Wrath of Khan with the space submarine warfare.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that would have been much better.
And that you could have actually extended out a bit, because and have things make much more sense. Because, okay, like, Star Wars has always been very, it can be indistinct how long hyperspace travel actually takes.
Yeah.
Like, the rules in the movies are basically, it's like, if you need it to be instant, it's basically instant. If you need time for a couple of characters to chat while they're going from Tatooine to Coruscant or whatever,
Mm.
you have time for the characters to have a chat while the blue hyperspace is in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, in the expanded universe, they could be like days or weeks in hyperspace.
Yep. But
Mm.
here, our heroes, our hero Finn and his new Gosh, I don't even know what to, because they're definitely not leads in this movie, really.
No.
Uh, Co-character
Yeah.
Rose Tico decide that the smart thing to do is to get off of the ship, go find a safe cracker, use that or code cracker, use them to break onto the First Order flagship,
Yeah.
and use that to shut down their tracking device. Which again, like they're fast and loose with the rules in the actual movies, but it's like to get to that planet and back in the time period allowed is like that's very convenient. They happen to be just that distance away, just in time for like you show up as the rebels are starting to lose their fuel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because there was just like a few hours, I think, wasn't it?
I think they said like 18 hours,
Yeah.
which then does damage to the other plot, which is Rey meeting Luke Skywalker and him refusing to train her to be a Jedi.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The opening. Yeah. The scene, that ended the last movie where she's giving him his old lightsaber, which is also his father's lightsaber, and then he just chucks it over his head like it's nothing.
Yeah, and that was a bad scene. At least it was bad with the payoff they gave it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. You could have had a storyline with Luke becoming disillusioned about the Jedi and wanting to, as he put it, leave me alone to die or whatever.
Yeah.
They did not justify it. And actually, I'll say that the prequels kind of they kind of rush. There are some questions about really Yoda into exile you will go. You don't have like a better plan of any sort.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did you just did you scout out this swamp planet as a hidey hole just in case?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, and Luke even mentions that too, that the old Jedi Order, how like arrogant they got, and how they didn't see that the Dark Lord of the Sith was right under their noses the whole time, and not only under their noses, he was leading the whole freaking government.
Yes, and then it's Rey who points out that, but the Jedi also, but it was a Jedi who redeemed Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, it's such a backwards thing
Yeah.
because, okay, Rey is a ridiculous non-character. This is not a sexism thing. This is with the life history that she has had,
Yeah.
she never makes any sense.
No.
Because Rey would have maybe heard a few legends about the Jedi, but she, as I recall in the first movie, she like, wait, that was all real?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, and she thought Luke Skywalker was a myth. Yeah. Just like
And so why does she have a concept of I guess the story of Luke Skywalker redeeming Darth Vader had spread, although if I'm the rebellion, I don't know if I would want that actually like being super public knowledge. I would maybe
yeah.
tell Luke, hey, we want to preserve you as like the hero of the rebellion. As far as
Yeah.
everyone is concerned, you killed Darth Vader
Yeah.
and the Emperor in single combat, and we're amazing doing it.
Yeah. We don't need to know. Nobody needs to know that Darth Vader was your father. And then
And Leia's father, for that matter.
and Leia's dad. Yeah.
In the expanded universe, I did cause Leia a few problems when in the New Republic government, as I recall.
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Because everyone was always just like, "Oh yeah, sure. Let's elect the daughter of Darth Vader to be the Chancellor."
Yeah.
Um, But anyways, there was a way to make Luke into this character. They did absolutely did not justify it, and I think that making him utterly heartbroken would have been perfectly fine. But at the same time, it's like it always feels like these people who are adapting these things on some level don't like them.
Yeah.
Like, let us see Luke doing something cool again before you break him down a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and at least can we actually would have been nice to have actually seen an actual lightsaber fight scene with him, not some like weird force projection, you know.
Yeah, it's okay. So we're kind of getting into just talking about random points. So
Yeah.
okay, so trying to give this some sort of more like form here. So
Yeah.
sorry, because like for a Star Wars fan who has spent a lot of time thinking about this movie, like on a rewatch, it did not change my opinion of it.
No.
Um, the fundamental problems of this movie: one, they were kind of shackled by what was set up before. They didn't really establish Ray. Like, actually, no, Ray had an amazing establishing scene, and they just kind of ignored it for the rest of the movies.
Yeah.
Like her as the lost little girl dreaming of leaving the planet wearing her rebel helmet that she had salvaged. Like that was such a great moment, actually.
Yeah.
Good movie storytelling. But she just kind of ping pongs around. Like she wants to be a Jedi now, but it's like there really wasn't any build up to that aside from the lightsaber calling to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, the dark also has a very easy and obvious connection to the dark side in this movie, which they don't really do anything with outside of like a little bit of Kylo Ren trying to seduce her to the power of the dark side.
Yeah. Yeah, that would have been far more compelling if they had actually done something with that.
See, that would have required that Finn get to actually be a hero instead of like okay. Second fundamental flaw with this movie outside of okay, I've lost count because there are so many. Okay,
Yeah.
so Ray is a problem because they didn't really use what they'd established.
Yeah.
Finn is a problem because they did, and Finn's introduction where he was in some sort of bacta suit, leaking liquid all over the place, in a scene right after waking as he wakes up right after they had just had a Yo Mama joke from Poe Dameron, followed by a dramatic, sad bombing scene
Yeah.
where Rose Tico's oddly attractive sister, who was wearing an awful lot of makeup for being a fighter pilot, I noticed,
Yeah. Yeah.
had just died heroically. And then you
Uh,
cut to Finn wearing a bacta suit, leaking liquid all over the place as he walks outside.
yeah. Mm. Yeah, what they did to Finn was really bad in this movie, and then Rise of Skywalker. Like he was the most compelling character, like from the Force Awakens. Like he had the best character arc, and they just completely wasted him.
Yeah, and Ray is kind of a tumor on the franchise
Yeah,
in terms of taking away his focus. It's like he gets to go off and have his adventure on the Vegas planet with Rose Tico,
yeah,
who is herself a nothing character. Like the most you get out of her is that she loved her sister and is very sad that she is gone.
yeah,
Um, Next problem is the compressed time scale, like we were talking about before, means
yeah,
that it's completely irrational that the things that happen in this movie happen the way they do. Like The Empire Strikes Back, I think you can argue has a similar sort of time compression problem. Like it feels like Luke is spending a significant amount of time training on Dagobah.
yeah,
Um, comp- but it's like, okay, how long could Han and Leia really be running away from the Empire in the asteroid belt?
yeah. Yeah, maybe a day or two.
Right. So I think that the explanation I've kind of had to go with is that they were running for the Empire for longer than you think, but also that since they couldn't go to light speed, getting to Bespin, which boy, it sure was lucky that there was another inhabited planet in the same star system as Hoth.
Yeah.
Now you think about it,
Yeah.
like it would have probably taken longer. So like that buys them some time. This one though, there really isn't like there's no hand waving it away. Like it's clearly like Leia or Rey gets all the training she was supposed to get very quickly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, the next character they kind of do dirty is Kylo Ren because I liked his sort of sleek Darth Vader-y inspired appearance, but apparently Ryan Johnson, Mr. Cleverman, thought that he looked stupid, so he has he basically bullies him out of it.
Yeah. And then there, of course, there's one character we haven't mentioned yet. Vice Admiral Holdo.
Lord, the character that launched 1,000 video essays.
Yeah, played by Laura Dern, who what was her name? What was her character in Jurassic Park?
I can't recall off the top of my head.
But yeah, she probably one of the worst military leaders in the history of Star Wars.
Oh, I would just say in movie history.
Movie history, yeah.
Like most incompetent leaders in movie history, at least appear to like wants to win.
Yeah. But yeah, in this, she's just like, oh, God. Wait.
Like just a couple of thoughts off the top of my head as things you could have done differently if you were the resistance in that situation where you're being slowly chased by the Empire.
Yeah.
First thing you could have done, if there was a way to try to transfer all of your fuel to one ship so you could last longer.
Yeah.
If there wasn't, just you had transports anyway, just consolidate everybody onto the one ship in advance. Why wait around? And also, why did that one pilot have to be on the medical ship as it was being blown up? Outside of setting up stakes.
I don't know. And that never made sense to me.
Right, they just wanted the moment of him dying dramatically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, from the First Order's perspective, the so-called explanation of call off the attack that is currently picking apart their ships because we can't cover you from this distance. What?
Yeah.
Kylo Ren single-handedly destroyed their fighter wing.
Yeah. He could probably take out the whole ship if you let him.
Yeah. So they had to stop. By the way, that's another advantage that my submarine fight in a nebula scheme would have had, besides buying more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also that gave us the whole Leia Mary Poppins thing, which I think there's a large group of people who were like, okay, like the kind of myself included, who were like, okay, the Yo Mama joke wasn't great. It kind of made me think of Guardians of the Galaxy, and I'm kind of questioning what Luke is doing. And
yeah,
but like this is all right so far because I'm getting some Star Wars action. And then that Leia Mary Poppins scene was just like,
yeah, like I'm out.
Yeah, that's like that's the shark jumping moment of the movie right there.
Oh yeah, Peter Griffin done. Well, on top of that, they killed off Admiral Akbar
unceremoniously.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the other thing, if the Holdo maneuver was an option the whole time,
the
optimal time to do it would have been okay. Like you could have transferred everybody off of that ship, turned it around, done the maneuver, thrown the whole First Order line into chaos, and then hyperspace away with the remaining ships.
Yeah. Well, they kind of retconned it in Rise of Skywalker. Where like, oh, that's a 1 in a million. Oh,
I don't know. Hux seemed awfully nervous for them trying a 1 in a million shot.
yeah.
Like, okay, so let's say that I'm in a battleship in World War II, and there's a guy in a rowboat pointing a rifle at the ship, and the helmsman informs you there's a 1 in a million chance that that they could find that their bullet could find a flaw in the hull and put a hole in us.
Yeah.
My reaction is probably going to be more just get rid of him rather than evasive maneuvers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's talk about our villains. Actually, let's
Okay.
take a quick sidebar. So General Hux is just completely disgraced in this stupid thing.
Oh yes. Yeah.
When like his Nazi speech in the first movie was was it subtle? Absolutely not.
No.
Did it tell us what the First Order was about? Yes. Did it give them a face of like this young fanatic who had a huge army at his beck and call? Yes. Did that make the First Order seem dangerous? Yes. But what did they do with him in this movie?
Turn him into an incompetent boob.
A huge punching bag,
Yeah.
mocked by the heroes, repeatedly thrown about with force telekinesis by the other villains.
Yeah.
Also, if fighters in Star Wars have never been portrayed as being able to like knock off big chunks of capital ships before.
Yeah, and you had that whole sequence where Poe is taking out all the turrets on the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, like honestly, the most precedented thing was when Kylo got in, like he flew a ship inside of the Republic ship and took out the fighter bay. Like that's Episode 1 or other nonsense.
Yeah.
Like yeah, if you can get inside of their ship where it's soft and squishy, then you're going to be able to do some real damage. But it's like,
Yeah.
if your dreadnought, your number one planet bombarding ship, was that vulnerable to fighter attack, even assuming you couldn't get a good angle for like anti-fighter defenses, why would you not already scrambled a fighter screen?
I don't know.
The movie, like I think we can put a pin in, or we can just put it like all the military maneuvers in this movie require everybody involved to be an idiot. Down to okay, Leia, so your plan is to get down to this salt planet, hold up in a huge bunker,
Yeah.
and attempt to buy time to transmit a help message. First off, couldn't you have radioed your allies in advance of this? Maybe while you were out in space and could have like contributed to a defense?
Yeah.
Also, do you think that the allies are going to show up like they have a large enough fleet to help deal with the First Order just on their beck and call? No, that is not how this is going to, like, the plan is unrealistic and stupid.
Yeah.
So you've just thrown your men against the enemy for no benefit whatsoever.
Yeah.
To buy time for a plan that was never going to work, except for Deus Ex Ray.
Yeah. 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 As in the words of Tony Stark, not a great plan.
No. And like when this was turned in, they should have said, wait, this plan doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And the sad thing is, like, there are elements here that could have been reworked into like in a second strong draft, could have taken the nuggets of good ideas or cool set pieces out of this.
Yeah.
going back to our villains, because boy, this movie makes me want to rant.
Yeah.
Kylo Ren, he's probably comes off the best of the three villains here because he actually like makes it to the end with some of his dignity intact.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them is a punching bag, and then the other one gets cut in half.
Yep. And like Kylo is like the most compelling character that is almost entirely on Adam Driver's performance.
Yeah.
Dude is too good for this movie. Dude is probably, yeah, him and Oscar Isaacs are probably the best actors in this movie.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then on a second rewatch, okay, like the first time I watched this movie, I thought it was cool enough the way that when Kylo was planning to kill Snoke,
Yeah.
how Snoke is narrating how he can feel Kylo's emotions, and he turns his lightsaber towards his true enemy.
Yeah.
On a rewatch, that's just like such blatant, like, do you hear yourself, man? You're completely unnatural dialogue.
Yeah.
And also, you are clearly being like you're. It is more of Ryan Johnson not being as clever as he thinks he is and being enabled by multi-billion-dollar companies.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The rare bit of praise I'll give is that while if you actually pause it and look frame by frame, that fight scene in the throne room after they kill Snoke is complete nonsense.
Yeah.
Like just on a choreography level because they wanted it to be like the long take.
Yeah.
On the flip side, like it looks cool. You kind of have to slow it down to start noticing like all the really big flaws with it.
Yeah. Yeah, like the one guy who's just like swinging his sword around at nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like there. I think we've hit all. Oh yeah, also the Codebreaker character was a complete waste of time.
Oh yeah, it was.
Movie could have been half an hour shorter if you had just kept all the heroes on the ships and had Finn actually interacting with his seeming best friend Poe Dameron.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, their friendship, like their immediate friendship, was such a delight in the first movie.
Yeah.
It's so weird that you never had the three main characters of your trilogy interacting with each other until the third movie.
Yeah.
Like they realized, crud, we want Finn, Poe, and Rey to be main characters or a trilogy or a trio.
Yeah.
But we've never actually, like, has Rey ever actually spoken to Poe? Shit.
Yeah, yeah. They actually like introduce themselves to each other at the end of the movie. Like, oh, jeez.
Like I think I kind of feel like if you could have had a different plan that required them to leave the ship,
Yeah.
like cut Rose and have Poe and Finn go off to go do it, and then give them a chance for some more bromance.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a little buddy cop stuff, you know.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah, exactly. Like because those two have chemistry. Actually, the sad thing is all three of our like Daisy Ridley, Boyega, and
Isaac,
and Isaacs. Anytime any combination of the two or three of them are together, they have a lot of chemistry.
Yeah.
None of them are the problem with this movie. I think that I've ranted enough.
Yeah.
So I just kind of sum up my thesis here is that all of the little writing details in this movie destroy it. The fact that the movie doesn't want, like, the fact the movie thinks it is too good to ever have a scenes of two lightsabers actually touching each other is the problem with this movie.
Yeah.
The fact that they took the assignment of, oh, nobody actually knew what any of the setups in the first movie meant. We're going to say they mean nothing. Just like spitefully, like knock the ice cream cone out of the audience's hands.
Yeah.
when that mystery and intrigue was all that anybody had to really cling on to in the first movie, destroyed this movie.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything that you could have done with these characters in that setup, you just completely tossed out.
Yeah. And then they just had to completely retcon it in the next movie.
Right. Well, because what else were you supposed to do? This movie burns the universe to the ground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't have Luke Skywalker anymore. We don't. They claim that the First Order rules, but rules
Yeah.
what? Like the analogy I've heard, and this is not an original. I think the thumbnail for this is going to be like that. I might use that one meme picture of the guy pulling up the calendar. It's like 2026 back to 2017 or whatever. Like
Yeah.
an angry nerd complaining about The Last Jedi in a YouTube video.
Yeah. 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 This movie is just as they say in Cyberpunk 2077, a turd wrapped in crepe paper.
Yeah, and by all accounts, it shouldn't have been, but
No.
that's where we are.
Yeah.
So I ranted quite a bit. Did I leave anything out that you wanted to bring up, or?
I don't think so. Well, I will say, having Luke Skywalker try to kill his nephew, was definitely a part of his character assassination.
Yeah, like it would be like having I don't even feel like an analogy right now. It basically is the betrayal of what he was about. Now,
Yeah.
if you had here's the thing. If you'd what you could like if you'd wanted to have it be more messy and complicated,
Yeah.
you could have had Kylo have already turned and be in the actually okay. So I mentioned before, like you'd have to do something different with Luke to break him like this.
Yeah.
You could this would be very controversial still, but people in that alternate universe wouldn't know the half of what they missed out on.
Yeah.
You established that Luke had fallen in love with a redheaded woman named Mara Jade. You could have just kind of hint what she was about.
Yeah.
And Kylo is turning to the dark side, and she confronts him while pregnant. And Kylo kills her. It has a moment of anger and kills her in the confrontation. And that's when Luke attacks. Then it's messy.
Yes.
Nobody. Then Luke can then you can understand why Luke wants to go off and die, and he spends a decade wrestling with could he have saved Kylo or not, or what should he have done? What should be done with Kylo?
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, like the expanded universe fans would have been pissed that you had wasted the character that way.
Right. Yeah.
But it would have at least it would have made many things make more sense.
Yeah, it would have, but yeah. Yeah.
Nobody asked me anything.
Nobody at Disney called you and said, "What should we do here?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think I can't think of anything else to really discuss with it. I think we've beaten this horse into the ground.
And it's already a well-beaten horse, honestly. Like this was like if you're a regular viewer and you watched this far, bless you.
Yes.
This was for our enjoyment.
Yeah. Yes, it was. And catharsis.
And also, like I said at the start, I'm always open to being proven wrong about a movie that I had seen once and it came up with an entirely different impression of. But this was not that time.
No. Well, I think we've said all we need to say for tonight.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in. We appreciate it as always. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring the bell, all that good stuff. And we'll see you next week. Night, everybody.
Good night.